21's going to come with a huge shove.
They are 2 and 3 wide behind him. Crossover, that's
comes.
Austin Hill on the 21. Big crash, up and over. Caution is out. It's Austin Hill who gets it done at Daytona, and here's what happened behind him.
That's just a bad scenario. Once you get turned around backwards, if he doesn't get hit in the front end, it probably doesn't get airborne, but it's just you got that other car wedging underneath the front to get the lift there. But it's great to see, like Chad talked about, the safety innovations of these cars. You know, to see Myatt just walk right out, that's a great sign.
And I would be anxious to see how close it was at the time of caution, because look right here, it looks like the 16's out front. Whew, it had to be really close.
Yep. The caution wasn't out at that point when they left our screen, so he was clearly ahead by the time he left the bottom of your monitors on television. But unfortunately, Anthony Alfredo getting into the back of the 31. And
21 car, 27 wins all time by 5 different drivers. Spectacular last lap crash at Daytona in the Xfinity Series. Myatt Snider up and over.
Come off the corner, the car got light exactly like I was talking about. Man, it went over too. I was right.
Half in front, tight out the back, tight in front, all the way, wrecking here, wrecking.
Oh, man. You know, pushing, obviously, on a rookie, Tony, you talked about it. Again, come off of that corner, got light, and that thing was long for the ride, but very aggressive pushing.
That is not at all what you're looking for. That kid is sitting there going, what happened? He said, lucky it didn't bite right there.
Yep.
And here's Harrison Burton on the radio for every Daytona 500 since 1985. Harrison Burton goes for a flyer at Daytona.
Oh, round the cars go on the back straight. I don't know who that is, but there's
Got
several
one up
of
on
them.
top of it. Yeah, it's 4 of them. 4-car pileup in the back straightaway.
Ooh, one almost went over.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Top of the screen, 1 car completely sideways. I believe that's Cindric.
There's that one I almost saw go over, the 16, I believe it was.
It was LaJoy that I saw first.
Yes.
Around backwards. Yeah, here it is. LaJoy right in his lap, right in front of him, nowhere to go.
Oh, my. Got creamed on the left side.
I think he just lost it trying to stay off the car on his.
Interested to see how those Gibbs cars play out at the end of this race today.
Oh, and there goes one. That's Mason Massey in the 91. Big hit on the inside wall.
I believe there's another one spinning with him. Yep.
It's Brett Moffitt in the 02.
Oh, wow.
Others with damage, including Josh Berry.
Damn.
That's one car spun, and then it was just like a chain reaction of other situations unfolded. Pow. So that was the first hit. And so then Barry, oh, now I see. It looked like Yaley got twisted out to the right. That was a hard hit.
You okay? I had a tire go down there.
Makes sense.
That's
the 91
there for a second.
Full locking bumpers up there in that high lane.
That's what I was telling you, but everybody's pushing and dragging the brake now.
Oh, no, Sam Mayer out of shape. He collects Austin Hill.
Wrecking behind you.
Wow. Guy dominated all day.
Here's what happened.
Second car in line, and then boop.
Getting a shove from AJ there and just kept getting squirrelier and squirrelier.
And here's Allmendinger.
Broke up. You should get a run right here. You should get a run. You should get a run here. Go. The 2 will go with you. The 2 will go with you.
Much anymore at plate racing. You see it on the straightaways because the cars are just unstable down the straightaways. A couple of hard hits here.
AJ is the leader once again, coming to the white flag.
AJ Allmendinger jumps out front, and there's a crash. Caution is out.
I mean, it's 4 wide, and he didn't quite probably know he was 4 wide. And then
47 into the 45, yep. Oh, wow. Oof. That's a lick.
Yeah, when the inertia raises the rear of the car up like that, those are hard hits.
Hurry here.
At 47 is Greg Alding.
Energy, and speaking of, we got a big crash on the front stretch. A few cars around, and another one gets hit. Look, see what happened. Where did it go wrong?
See Tony's the white car on the inside who she got run into from behind. Very similar to what we saw in practice yesterday. I believe that was the 10 car, Richard Garvey, that ran in the back of Tony.
From behind, she gets sideways.
Yeah, Brayton Laster with the 0-3 with nowhere to go, and watch.
Oh my gosh. Great camera shot, but
wow.
man,
that's Richard Garvey riding up over.
Looks like
Lester's
a stadium truck.
There it is.
Oh.
Well, it happens so fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, he had nowhere to go there, obviously, not being able to really react to that car getting spun behind him. So.
Oh, you see the 36 get loose, Alex LeBay.
Yeah, and he just in that same spot that we've seen a couple times today, in that second groove, kind of in a pack, and just NASCAR is done. Look at this hit. You can see the wall give. And you look at the safer barriers. Tires, yeah. Those safer barriers, as a guy who's been here long enough to hit concrete walls, it's
on Fox. Kyle Busch.
Whoa! That was big. Got loose off the corner. Had to get completely out of the gate. Oh, he's got right rear fire. Right rear down. Huge wreck. So Austin as Chastain hit him, turns Chase Elliott around in the wall.
And totals Chase Elliott's car.
Well, you saw it. He had a big-time wiggle off of 4. That thing, this new car. See that big wiggle getting out of the gas. You see the tire down, starting to limp it around, slowing down. And here he comes. Ross Chastain, nowhere to go. Oh. Those are huge hits.
And 3 cars
hit
destroyed.
That one hard. Car's lucky to not get upside down. Oh, Suarez!
Briscoe got into the back of Suarez, and he gets pounded.
Dang it.
Oh, Buescher's upside down.
I think he hooked a drain.
And Daniel Suarez climbs out. He had a great race going tonight.
You see Suarez come up, just wasn't clear. Caught the 14, gets sideways, and here comes the impact. Hard hit. You see him spinning. The more you look at that, the whole right front suspension was broke off. I think it rolled underneath the car, and that's what flipped the car. The upper A-frame was broke. The whole right front suspension dug in.
That was Todd Gilliland, tried to go high and just didn't have enough room.
See that right front wheel dug underneath the car, and that's what dug in and caused it to start flipping. Violent crash.
Now let's ride along with Daniel.
I'm going to tell you, if you're Chris Buescher in that position, and we've seen a lot of cars slide through the infield, the last thing you think is going to happen is that you're going to flip. That was the last thing he thought was going to happen. But I'm with Clint. It almost appears that impact from Suarez
watch when it spins around right here. You see the right front. See it flip
right
over?
There.
Yeah.
Dug in.
Upper A-frame was broken. As soon as it rolled underneath the car, it dug in and sent that thing a-flipping. Wow. What a ride. A lot of work went into the safety of these race cars. See him crawl out of that thing. Hats off to everybody involved in that.
And good to know that was nothing to do with the racetrack or the turf that sent Buescher's car over. Right there where he gets a big piece of Suarez is where that right front goes. And when it completely comes off and gets under the car,
And you see the tether is actually holding that tire to the car so it doesn't fly up into the stands or go out into the racetrack. That's just a 1 in a million times that could happen, where that tire falls underneath the car and shoots the car up in the air.
Tether did its job.
Goes around.
Oh, Sam Mayer in it.
And a big hit from behind on Ryan Sieg. They pile up coming out of 2.
The 27 of Jeff Burton was the one that made contact with the 39, sending him in the air. You see the damage to the front of the 27. We were on board with the 8. Barry, let's take a look. So the 8's laying up. He's going to try to appear or dime in the corner. Looks like he's trying to come down, and the 2 of Creed thinks he's there, and he stays in the gas. Contact, and around goes the 8 in front of traffic. Oh, my goodness.
And here comes Myatt. You know, that's so difficult. It's hard to know what lane to go to. I agree with you. I think Josh Berry thought he was clear, came down the racetrack. Sheldon Creed's there. And now here he is spinning in front of the entire field. You've already selected which lane you're going to go. You can't just change that lane.
Absolutely up to the door of the 16. And the 16 just moves up like he doesn't think he's there. So whether it was on purpose or he was chasing his race car, I don't know. But either way is another look at it.
Well, I think right there what's happened is Allmendinger's gotten up the track and gotten into him. And now the car is on his right rear quarter panel. And now he can't turn left. Now it's shoving him to the right. But you can see right here, Allmendinger got loose, and now he's up the racetrack. And now the contact's coming, and with that contact in the right rear quarter panel, it's just shoving the front of the nose into the wall. And then look like the Brandon Jones sees it happening. He tries to get slowed down, but behind him, he doesn't get slowed down. Can't make out who that car is.
I think it's...
Oh, look at that hit by Brandon Jones.
Big hit by Brandon.
Yeah, to your point, Jones didn't have the time to slow down. He just turns left because he doesn't want to run into the 2 cars. And unfortunately, that white car, I believe it was the 02 of Moss. Now he's lost that clean air. Oh, big wreck. Huge contact.
48 is involved. That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now up and over goes the 27. So Jeff Burton sliding on top.
I just want to hit you.
Yeah, it all started with a car getting turned sideways. So you see right here the 26 off turn 4. Okay, gets very, very loose. Just really spins out. Loses control. Probably had very little side force. Too wide. Sideways. Now it's white smoke. No one can see. The 48 of Stenhouse. The 27 sees it. He goes as far left as he can. He has a choice. Am I either going to hit the end of pit wall or stay on the racetrack? And he just launches off the 48 upside down. And then this long slide had to feel like forever. I'm not going to know what's better, sliding or tumbling. I'm going to say sliding if he's fine, but watch how close Jeb was to the end of this pit wall. He has a split decision, pit road or not. The yellow barrel's not a good option.
Yeah, he made the right decision not to try to turn left there at the last moment. Just a no-win situation for Jeb.
And the spotter coming on, asking him if he's okay, and also telling him no one's going to hit you. That would be the other thing that a driver would fear, is he's in such a vulnerable position.
So now the spin, and look at all the smoke. So you want to say, all right, here's where I want to go, but you're just trying to miss him. And then it happens that quick. I mean, that decision has to be made in milliseconds.
That's what I love. Slow motion replays shows us the violence. Like this will show just how much that car launches in the air. Now look at this hit right here. He lands basically on the driver's side door, tumbles onto the A-post. That shows how violent it is, but there's nothing like a full speed replay to show you Jeb's decision making. It is right now, left or right.
2 crashes back in 2015 where cars spun onto and hit the inside wall of pit road. Pocono extended that pit wall by 100 feet. Pretty tight pack, trying to stay at least 2 wide. A little bit of help here coming for A.J. Allmendinger, and he's going to give it right to Noah Gragson. Into the wall he'll go.
Oh, man.
Big hit for Gragson. And the caution comes out again.
Down the back straightaway, Allmendinger with a big run, Noah with a block. Allmendinger being pushed by Jeremy Clemens, and Wow. All 4 tires off the ground with that impact.
Pushing the 16, and so that's all 3 cars bumper to bumper. Noah comes down to get in front of the 16. He sees the momentum he has. AJ just gets into the back of him. It's a pretty heavy push. You're going to have hard hits, hard pushes at the end of this race. The 9 back to the right. AJ kind of goes down the track below the yellow line, and as he drives across the back bumper of that car, it spins that 9 out. There's nothing.
There, Noah, with a big run, it's an aggressive block. We talked about, we shouldn't have been up there.
Reddick just clipping the back bumper of McDowell, turns him into the outside wall.
The seas kind of part, and it becomes 3 wide.
Yeah, it's Daytona. It's that whole debate we just had, this whole wreck we just had it is Daytona. It's what the situation you get put into.
You see Chase Elliott doing just a nice job slowing down, luckily not getting run over from behind. Unfortunately for McDowell, that is going to hurt.
Oh, look at Corey LaJoy. Yeah, Corey's always runs well. I don't know how much damage is though that car.
Intact, so it did its job. Another perfect example today. Look at the 7. He gets up in the air, spins around, and now these flaps come up. And you see the right rear of that car tries to leave the ground. When the flaps basically pop up, the car.
Oh, he can't get that pushed.
Oh, into the wall he goes. And they'll collect more cars behind. The 14 stays on the ground.
Brake, hold the brake, hold the brake.
You can see it happening as he was coming around. Bubba Wallace with contact right there. Loose, and he starts coming back down the track. Right in the left rear quarter panel. Goes the 48. The 48 wants to push him, but he needs to push him in the right side. But the 14's driving up the track loose. And that offsets him the wrong way.
And that 14 car was working its way to upside down. Let's take another look at this right here. Watch when this thing gets backwards. It turns around and it climbs a long ways off the ground before it comes back down. My goodness. That thing that's scary because, listen, tipping over is bad enough, but then flipping into the grass and into traffic, we've seen other cars. This will be a great onboard. Let's take a look. Onboard Bubba Wallace.
Down. Keep coming straight down pit road.
The dilemma with Martin Truex Jr., all the wrecks today have started from the 2nd position. So in the front of the pack, it's so aggressive.
That 14 car, I'm so thankful those flaps work. Put that car backwards on board with Austin Dillon. See how he gets turned around.
Stay middle here, stay top.
Oh, man.
The middle.
And
Keep
right
coming.
here,
Down pit
so
road, down pit road.
thankful, but the speed is obvious.
And so many of these drivers are drivers.
48's damage is heavier than I initially thought. Man, that is. And then how about Chase Elliott right here? I think he's going to get through it clean. He's on the
10, also an evasive move down pit road.
Which you can use. That's legal. You just have to continue to slow down. Let's see. The 38 hits the 10.
One on the outside.
Haley on that outside line, top of 3. He's got some help with him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, into the wall they go. The 11 now also caught up in it.
The whole
Haley.
I mean, there were, I'll tell you how it started, but it's like 4 or 5 things happening all at once. When we pick it up, you've got 2 or 3 cars sideways from multiple types of contact.
I was with you when we started there.
On the apron.
Still 3 bottom. Wreck it. Stay bottom. Keep coming. Way bottom. Easy. Bottom.
Camera's pretty clear. Let's watch this right here. The 17 of Busher trying to go into the middle there on the 31, on the 16. The 99 just loses it. Denny wrecks.
Well, the 31 just lost it too by himself in that top lane.
I wonder if it was rain.
Well, yeah, I mean, both leaders are in clean air. They both catch their car. That tells me that there's something down there that's reducing.
Driver saying, hey, it's raining. Why are we racing right now? And that could have been the result of what happened there.
Watch this 31, right? Watch him. He's a clear indicator. Inside lane, very top. All right, as they roll through here, see right there? He's sideways.
Yeah.
The 11 sideways.
The track is wet. Parker.
And Jeff, exactly. His spotter was telling him it's raining, and then after that all went down, Justin Haley came on the radio and said it was raining. So, of course, there was no grip down there.
The 3 with 16th going into that wreck. Now that makes all 3 cars. The first car bottom, first car middle, first car top. You see the rain falling. They all go down in the corner, and all 3 lose grip. They're the first ones in there. And we don't know if these guys have grip. The 47 has no grip because he's 7 feet in the air.
And it's such a, it's such a tough call. I mean, you can't tell it's raining down. It came really quick.
Down, mid. Down.